Go get him.
I've put up with all the wheeling and dealing and backstabbing that I'm going to. We leave in the morning.
You're a drunk and an unfit mother. The sooner we have you put away in that sanitarium, the better off you're gonna be.
He's got to be stopped. I can't rely on anyone else to do what I have to do.
That was the lead up to the episode of Who Shot JR? I was 6 years old when that aired. It is my first vivid recollection of a television show, and it has actually shaped my life, to say that. It has shaped my life and actually brought me to where I am today. I vividly remember lying on the bed with my mom, our dog Paisley, and my twin sister Amy, and watching this unfold. My mom is a teacher. In addition to being a teacher, she loved soap operas. It came from my great-grandmother. And as we're watching these shows, which was, of course, much more entertaining than Sesame Street, she'd teach us, like, this is who the hero is, and this is who the villain is, and this is what greed looks like, and this is what bad looks like. And no matter what she would say, right, we all gravitated towards JR, we all loved him, and then, oh my God, all of a sudden he was shot, couldn't believe it, and we spent the whole summer talking about who could have done it. It was the beginning of storytelling, at least in my family. And then Kristen did it, and all of us were like, that didn't make any sense, but nonetheless. But I vividly remember that. And it was by far the beginning of my obsession with soap operas. I watched everything from Dynasty to Falcon Crest to Knots Landing to Hotel, and then, of course, 90210 and Melrose Place. I digress. But it was also the beginning of my love for the television. That is myself and my sister who gave me permission to show this picture. I love the television. If you look at my bio right now, you'll see something that is drastically missing, which is the line, I love the television. If I look at your bio, my guess is it's missing also. My guess is that you watch television more than you love kite riding. But we don't talk about it because it's not socially acceptable. I would never truly admit how much television I watch. I would certainly never admit how much television my 4-year-old daughter watches to the mothers in the schoolyard. And yet we all do it. We all do it a lot. We watch 34 hours of television a week, in addition to 3 to 6 hours that we watch that are DVR shows. That's a lot of television. As you can imagine, I have a crazy life right now. In addition to trying to launch this new company, I have 2 kids, a 4.5-year-old daughter named Elle, and a 20-month-old boy named Charlie, who I adore, and I spend every minute with if I'm not working. And yet, I will stay up with bleeding eyes watching those shows that I absolutely love. I will not miss an episode of Homeland, or Justified, or House of Lies, or Downton Abbey. Having said that, I'm very far behind, so don't anybody talk to me about it. I will make time for television. I will make exceptions for something that is great, and so will you. So I'm here today to talk about the revenge of the television. And what it is really simple. It's just the idea that the television has always been there. It's in the middle of our lives, and even though it's under, I think, one of the greatest threats there has been in a very long time, it will be back. So let's talk about why I love the television so much and why you all probably do too. And it's not just because of the big picture or the big sound. It's because it's immersive. It sucks you in. You have a relationship with the television and what's coming at you. It's private, it's personal. You forget your surroundings when you're watching televisions. I mean, how many times did your partner scream your name from 2 feet away trying to get your attention, and you weren't purposely ignoring them, you just didn't hear them. And that's because television does something to us. Now, watching television is great, but I'm sure everybody in this room will agree that the best thing to do on the television is play games. It is the most immersive device, and the most immersive thing that we can do on it is play games. When we play a game, we're no longer a participant. We're no longer an observer. We are a participant. We are in control of the action. We are in control of the environment. I'm not me anymore. I'm the character that I want to be or that thing I want to be, right? It's the big escape. And we all know this. Console gaming has more players, there's more time spent, and there's more dollars spent playing console games than any other gaming platform. The average person spends about 4 hours a week playing video games in front of the television, only 3 hours on mobile. The heavy gamer spends 2 times as much time playing console games, 7 hours to 3.5 hours on mobile. with half of those sessions over 1 hour long. That's a crazy engagement. How does that translate to dollars? Very well. 6 times more money is attributed to console gamers than it is to mobile gamers. And we can't live without it. None of us can live without it. The Magid Associates ran a survey that asked people about television, and 20% of respondents say they can't live without it. Heavy gamers, ages 12 to 24, 60% of them said they can't live without it. So how does that translate into games? And we all do this for a living. You build massive content for games on the television because you want to take advantage of this immersive experience. You want to take advantage of the big screen. You want to take advantage of the big sound. And you want to take advantage of that connection that you're having with the individual. So let's start with an example. Let's take GTA 5, which is going to come out soon. We are all excited about GTA 5. It is going to be a great game. There were 4 previous games that were great. We know GTA 5 is going to be great. In fact, I remember when Vice City came out. I was working at the time Universal Interactive, which became Vivendi, Universal Games, and at 10 a.m., every guy from the office left. They all went to GameStop, they bought their own copy, they came back, and they played until they finished. We did not work for a day and a half. And that was okay, because nobody worked for a day and a half, because we were all immersed in either watching this game or playing this game. That's what the television does for games. It sucks you in. And just like television, when the quality is great, we get sucked in, and time halts. So let's talk about GTA 5. This is, an analyst came out earlier in the week with sort of his perspective on what this game is like from a development perspective. He said it's probably going to cost $130 million to make. It's going to take 5 years. It's going to take 200 people, and we're going to spend about $110 million to market it. And if we're successful, we'll sell 15 million units, which is great because we'll have a gross profit of close to $200 million. That is awesome, right? That's the home run in the World Series in the bottom of the ninth. That's what we all strive for. But as awesome as that is, it underlines the problem with console gaming today. And that is, in the console gaming today, we have to compete with Grand Theft Auto 5, right? We don't have a choice. We have to be on the stage that they are on. And the problem is if we have a misstep, it's not on to the next game, right? It's on to the next company. It is literally game over. So as a result, every single year, we're seeing fewer and fewer big titles. We're seeing people make less big bets. And the data supports this. NPD just came out. 2011, video game sales in retail was down 8%. Last year, it was down 22%. And I swear, every single day I read about a developer who's left a console shop to go work at a mobile shop, or even just a console development studio that is closed down because they can't afford to make these big bets. They can't afford to be on the same level as GTA 5 and take advantage of this immersive, amazing thing that we call television. So the question is, how do we stop the bleeding? How do we change this? How do we bring gamers back into the living room and playing those games that we all love and having that connection with the game? And I think it's simple. I think it means that we just have to rethink television gaming. It's not about building another Xbox. It's not about building another PlayStation. It's about taking advantage of the most immersive device we have with the best controller and creating a new experience. We need to do for games what cable television did for network television. If you remember when cable showed up, I remember the first thing that happened, profanity. I never heard the word bitch so much in my life on television. Next thing, nudity, right? Women, men, right? And outside of those two obvious things, storytelling got richer. We started hearing stories and getting invested in characters that we never thought possible again. Shows like The Sopranos and The Shield and Wire, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, they never would have happened on network television. They don't follow the formulaic plot line. It would never happen. So by opening up the television, what cable did is it brought us different experiences, things we didn't want. They didn't recreate what was there. They did something new. And so what I believe is that it's time to do that again, and this time it's time to do it for the gaming console. We need to open it up. So how do you open it up? That is actually really simple. To open it up, we put the power back in the hands of the people who make things. And in this room, it's the creators. It's the developers and the publishers, giving them the power again to decide what price do they want to charge this game? How long of a game does it have to be? What platform do I want it to be on? What platform do I want it to launch on, right? Not saying that it has to be, you know, a $200 million development and a $100 million marketing budget to be successful. We just have to change the rules, and in so doing, still create a great experience. If we do that, I believe that the gamers will win. And that's ultimately what we're all here for. We've started doing that at Ouya, right? We are building an open game console. We are putting the power back into the hands of the creators. We have 12 community sites that have launched up in support of us. We have a magazine in Germany now devoted to Ouya. In December, we launched our development consoles and we opened up our developer portal. We've had 15,000 downloads of our ODK. We've had 900,000 views of unboxing video, which is not as interesting as this. 115,000 people hit our website yesterday. But more than anything, we have this developer forum that we can't even keep up with anymore. It's blowing up with questions and game ideas and just energy. I'm going to show you some clips from a contest that just ended a couple days ago. We did a game jam with Killscreen, where we gave people 7 days' notice to create a 10-day prototype for Ouya. We had 166 submissions. 166, 10 days. I mean, it's unbelievable. And we saw all the genres that you would expect. We saw the shooters, we saw the platformers, we saw the action games, but then we saw things that just blew us away. I mean, you saw one of them, mech giants walking around an urban landscape. We saw 3D multiplayer parkour games. I had to look up what that word was. We saw an asteroid game with conjoined twin ships, like things that really are creative, inventive, things that we just haven't seen in a while for whatever reason. If you go on Twitch TV right now, there is a developer live streaming their porting of their game to Ouya. It's amazing. And now, you know, beloved, you know, well-known developers are getting behind Ouya. Like, we are delighted to announce that Tim Schafer of Double Fine is bringing Reds, his Kickstarter project, to Ouya. It'll be the only TV platform which you can play it. And Paul Bettner from World with Friends fame has just started a new studio called Verse. He's bringing his first game to Ouya. I mean, this is really exciting. It doesn't matter if you're the AAA publisher or the independent developer or the student. You just have to rethink the television and bring great content back to the gamer. We're doing our part, right? We're supporting all of those developers with distribution. We made big announcements yesterday about being in Amazon and GameStop and Best Buy and Target and the whatnot. But we are doing everything we can to get these creators' visions and ideas to as many people as possible. So what does this mean for you? It means it's time to get creative again. You know, I would suspect that every single one of us in this room has some game idea that they've been noodling for the last 6 months. Some IP based on some great character that you think fills a void. But never are you ever going to be able to take it to greenlight, or will it ever get approved, because it will never pass the ROA test, right? It'll never compete with the other franchises that have been around for 10 years, where it's incremental dollars to keep spending it. But Ouya, and there are many things like us, provide now an opportunity for you to get that vision out there, to take your IP. And it's fascinating because it means that you don't have to do things the same way. I mean, if you think about all the Marios and Sonics that hit the cutting room floor, it just doesn't have to be that way anymore. So we change expectations. Who says it has to be a 60-hour game? Why can't it be a 6-hour game? We give it to gamers, see how they respond. If they like it, then we build the next 6 hours, right? Who says it has to be a $60 game, right? Maybe it's a free-to-play game where there is real value for buying something in the game, right? Or maybe it's a demo and then you pay the full version. It's up to you. Why does it have to be about how many polygons we cram on the screen? Just because it's a beautiful picture, that doesn't necessarily translate to a great game. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But if we were truly open, the creator would then have the power again to bring great content to life. It would cost less money, it would take less time, and you could deliver on your dream, on that idea that you've had for such a long time, and deliver it to the platform that inspired you to have that dream, not the one that's convenient or some alternative that's just easier to get to. So what is the revenge of the TV? It's simple. It's just the reminder that the TV is the best device to get sucked in on. It's the device that we love to play games on. It's the device that is in every one of our lives, and it's the device that we all love, we just won't talk about it at parties. It's the last closed platform, and we and a number of others are now trying to open it up. So my suggestion to everyone in this room is find a way to make it yours again and bring great content back. Thank you.